was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
And here we are yet again. Sean, how are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you for asking, Darren.
Yes. So, your day, is there anything noteworthy you would like to share with our audience? Hey, by the way, whenever you're tuning in, if you have tuned in, drop us anything you want, any question you want, drop it in the comments and we will address it. So, Sean, is there anything noteworthy that you would like to add about your day?
Not really, not anything exciting. I was preparing for today's live stream, which I'm going to share with you in the audience in a little bit.
Yeah, the big reveal, the big surprise.
It's not really a surprise. Well, I guess it can't. Well, it's a surprise to you, because you don't know anything about it.
Okay,
but I'll share it with you.
Do you want to just drop it down? You know what?
Yeah.
Our audience can see the backdrop that you have displayed, correct?
Yes.
So now I was not at the beach until sunset, but you see what's going on there? That is what it was like at the beach today. For the first 2 hours was pristine skies. Then we started getting this whole scattered clouds and whatever coming over. But man, it was 71 at the beach today. So great.
Nice.
And
nice.
Almost zero wind. And the humidity was, I think, 36%, which is pretty darn low. It was so good.
Awesome.
Anyhow.
Cool.
Okay, so what's the big surprise, or what's the not so big surprise?
Well, I was trying to think of something that people can relate to.
Yeah.
And something different.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking something that I used to do when I started auto detailing. I didn't have the luxury that you had. Oh, wait. Got some comments. That was fast.
We got a couple of people coming in.
Yeah. So we got
80K Detail, which was here last week, I believe. And Lou Flores, which I don't recognize that name. So good evening, Lou. And welcome, 80K Detail. Gold Standard Waffle Pads. Oh, DIY. Is this the Yvonne LaCroix's company? I think it is. And Sean, remember I was telling you that the now I'm going to forget his name. Let me look him up. He's apparently partners with Yvonne LaCroix. Oh, Nick McGurk. Remember I was telling you last week that he reached out?
Yeah.
Well, he did not respond to my text. So I don't know, Nick, like what's up with that? He wanted me to come on his podcast, and
yep,
so it's been crickets ever since. Yes. Is that yes as in Yvonne? I don't know why. Every time I try to pronounce that guy's first name, it just messes up, and I'm not sure why. I think it has to do with his last name, LaCroix. I don't know why that plays havoc with my brain.
There you go, Darren.
Yvonne. That's why. I guess it's just the spelling. It's kind of confusing. It's almost like a double letter or a redundant letter, but it's not. Yvonne. I wonder how he pronounces it. Anyhow, so yeah, okay, cool. I can't comment on his waffle pads, and I'm curious what. Hey, actually, can you look it up, Sean?
Yeah.
See if they have a store. I'm sure they do on Amazon. I want to see what their waffle pad is because I've seen different iterations of what a waffle pad is. Like, for example, ADK Detailing. Are you familiar with Shoal Concepts spider pads? I get the concept behind it. And like every other industry in the world, they're all trying to keep us, as their consumer base, they're all trying to keep us stimulated. So they're all trying to innovate new cool things like, oh, this is the cool pad. This is the next cool thing. And I mean, yeah, that's typically what a waffle pad looks like. So actually, I don't see their store or their pad. Did you put in DIY?
Yeah.
I get the concept of that name, but when it comes to algorithms and search terms, that was really a bad choice in names because DIY is universal in so many industries. Okay, the detailed gold standard waffle pad. Is this? Oh yeah, detailed image. They have a website, he says. I'm sure they do. So wait, but can you go back to Amazon? I'm kind of, that's interesting that they're not on Amazon, or if they are, you're not able to find them, which that was part of the point I was leaning into is, when it comes to name choice, it can make a difference. In fact, I don't know if I've discussed this on our live stream. I've got a page on one of my websites that talks about this because I offer a lot of tips for guys going into the business. And because I started my business way before the internet, I never had to worry about my business name being configured as a URL. So when you put certain words together or certain letters together in the form of a URL, like a web address, it can be really, really bad. And so I have these examples of when you put, shoot, I can't think of some examples, but they're comical. So the point is I probably would have rethought that DIY differently, but that's just me. I promise it's the best on the market. Okay, that's cool. So DIY gets a big thumbs up from ADK Detail. No panel is flat. So sorry. Okay.
We're skipping.
All right. Killer Mobile Detailing. I think it's the first time he's been here, right, Sean?
Yes.
So killer, dude. What's the best way to get high-end clients advertising on TikTok or Facebook, or what has worked best for you? Well, I would say the simple answer, which is not simple at all, is you need to configure your advertising so that you target what I call value shoppers. See, what most guys lean into is they kind of do the shotgun approach. And I promise you, every different marketing guy or advertising guy you tune into will give you a different story. So this is my story as far as what works. Because I've been studying marketing, 25, 30 years. And then when the internet came to be a thing, I started studying internet marketing. And so there's just endless strategies. Personally, based on experience, is if I was consulting someone, which I do with marketing, is you pick the perfect customer and you gear the marketing towards that customer. So in simple terms, you want someone that understands what value is, which is different than how a price shopper shops. most price shoppers, they know the cost of everything or the price of everything, but they don't know the value of anything. And that's a little cliched saying, but it's true. And so not only does your marketing have to be correct, as in you're talking to a person that understands value. So if you think about the traditional marketing, most people are saying the same BS. Oh, we deliver good value. We deliver service that is best than the rest, a notch above the rest. We treat you like family, friends and family. I mean, you've just got all the standard textbook, like, oh, we do this. But if you look around, everyone's saying the same thing. So what's going to differentiate you from your competition? You've got to have a compelling headline, a little slogan, whatever you want to call it, but you want to visualize the perfect customer. And I can tell you in my part of the world, what the perfect customer is, he's going to be a man over the age of 45, and he's going to be a white dude. Okay. Why? Because it's a cultural thing. We here in the US, we did not grow up in a third world country. So it's very much a cultural thing. Over the age of 45, you have a healthy disposable income, and you have enough life experience where you know that shopping price is never going to prove good long term or even short term, which is why we have the saying, you tend to get what you pay for. So it typically takes a long time for people to finally outgrow shopping for a bargain. So when you combine the rude, harsh experiences of life with a healthier disposable income, which typically starts happening right around 40 to 45 years old, that's where your demographic is. So that's who you want to target, and you want to speak to them and create what I call a unique value proposition. What is unique about what you can deliver that is different from what the other guys are offering or saying that they can deliver, which I know is not a specific answer, but
Well,
that is a kind of a template.
I can add to that. So what I would do, Killer, is
Richard.
yeah, I see him. I would stay away from TikTok if I were you. If you're trying to get customers, TikTok is not the right place for you. If you're
Well, how
trying to get
about this,
customers,
Sean? Not to interrupt you, but let me just
yeah,
add a little insert there. I suspect if you looked at the demographics of TikTok,
it's
just
younger.
naturally, it would not be a good place, because how many
No,
45-year-old men are on TikTok? I'm sure a lot of them, but they're probably all looking at the little like flesh, whatever you want to call them, which I know your ad can be inserted in there, but I probably would lean more into Facebook
yeah.
specifically. But go
Well,
on. Sorry,
I'll,
Sean.
no, you're good. I would say Facebook and YouTube both. So YouTube because you can get a bigger audience, a more broad audience,
Good
and then you
point.
got Facebook, and because Google is not what it used to be, especially since it came out with the AI thing for Google. It's actually kind of messed up the whole SEO thing, but YouTube is the largest. It's got a most amount of viewers in the world. YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube is beating up Hollywood and all these different streaming channels. So I would focus on YouTube and Facebook. That's what I would do.
Tell you what, also killer mobile detailing. I would honestly, if I was to start over again, one of the things that I would lean into heavily is the old school approach. What and when I say old school approach, I mean literally knocking doors.
Yeah,
Now, you don't necessarily have to go into residential neighborhoods. You can go into business parks. And the
yeah,
novelty with business parks is you have business owners, and business people spend money differently than non-business owners. So that would even refine your demographic even tighter. So a white man, 45 years and older, and a business owner. So, and what's cool about going the old school approach is you can like laser target business parks that are closer to you, because your name says Killer Mobile Detailing. So I suspect that you do mobile detailing versus having a shop, which means you have to travel to these people. So if you're going to travel, why not travel to someone closer to you rather than further away? Therefore, and that's how I literally grew my business. When I bought, because I bought an existing mobile wash route after I'd been detailing for quite a few years. Now, just to let you know, this wash route included 3 customers. I wasn't really paying for the customers. I was paying for the setup. It was a truck, fully contained, and it was a foot in the door. And so what I would do is I would just walk up and down the streets of the business park and go into every single business park and introduce myself, give them my card, and then that's how I worked it, and it just grew and grew and grew. So most guys do not want to do it because they hate cold calling, they hate the confrontation, but that is where you can set yourself apart instantly, is by talking and having a conversation with people face to face, because you can build rapport instantly. If you know how to do it, you can build rapport, which is just a connection. And then they begin to trust you, they begin to like you, and people like doing business with people they like. So you be likable, you be trustworthy, you answer their questions, you just get people talking. And it's amazing. And every guy I've convinced to do this, they always come back and say they had more success than they ever thought was possible. And it doesn't mean they're just suddenly raging with success. They just have this very nihilistic opinion of it, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to knock on doors, like I have to just go talk to people I don't even know, like, oh, this is going to be horrid. And if nothing else, you develop your people skills. So there, in 700 words or less, there's your answer.
That was a good question. So we're gonna move on because there's lots of people talking.
Yeah,
So.
no, it's a good question. No panel is flat, so it contours perfectly. But ADK detailing, could you not say that with any pad? And I get, see, because that is a valid point. But I could say that about any pad. So that's where you would have a debate. Like, let's say I got some other fellow detailer, like let's say it was you in the room with me. And so not only do you have the pad material itself, and most pads are flat, but now you would have to make a compelling case as to why those high points, because you got the highs and the lows of a waffle pad. And when you compress them, then the foam material on the high points are going to be compressed more. And so you're going to have intermittent spots that have a firmer, more compressed, more dense part of the pad. So honestly, if I was a marketing guy, which I am in many ways, I could spin that and either sell that pad and convince you why it's a better pad, or I can convince you why just a flat pad based on whether it's firm, medium, or soft is the better choice. So I don't know what to say to that. I promise it's the best on the market. Well, if you love it that much, run with it. I will take your word for that. DIY waffle pad is really good. So Doug, that's right, correct, right, Doug?
Yeah.
Sorry, Doug. Is really good. I'm sure it is. Yeah. So I'm curious who makes it, because like a lot of things in the industry, especially pads, like for example, the pads that Tom and I were selling is the CSI dedicated pads. Now he was having his pads that were made for the rotary polisher made elsewhere, but we ended up going up with Buff and Shine. And Buff and Shine, there's like two pad manufacturers that pretty much dominate the whole pad industry as far as the US. But with that said, is Buff and Shine also sources a lot of their material, like the Eurofiber or the Eurofoam. They source that from overseas, but they still manufacture it here in the US. Sup, Darren and Sean. Hey, Richard, glad to see you. Thumbs up on the news. Richard is going under the knife on Monday. Going to fix a knee. About time. Right, Richard? So welcome here. You get high in clients by detailing in a bow tie. You get high. Oh, I missed the end. You get high in clients by detailing in a bow tie. Would that be a bow tie only, Doug? Or is that clothes and an addition with the bow tie? Mr. Seam, hand purple blue piece. I don't recognize that reference. Is that racist? Of course it is not, Richard. Yes, yes, yes. I love dude, I know you do. But a big guy like you, because you take up so much real estate. I don't know. I don't remember, Richard. Are you 6'3", 6'4", 6'5"? The guy's big. I wish I was, well, I don't know that I wish I was that tall. To me, everything, when you push anything to the extreme, it starts getting to be problematic. So anything above 6'2", pretty much the world was not made for you.
Well,
Yes.
I'm 6'4".
Yeah. So you can relate, Sean.
Yeah,
Clothes, beds, airplanes, cars,
yeah.
doorways. I mean, it's just not made for people as tall as you.
Well, I'm glad I'm not taller.
Yeah, well, I wish I was taller personally, but yeah, it's this law of diminishing returns. At some point, the returns start diminishing. Cool, thank you. Well, thank you for tuning in today, Killer, and for your question. That was good.
Yeah, thank you, Killer.
Killer Diller, Killer Diller. Best is subjective. That is so true, and really, right, Doug? What in life is not subjective? There is no reality. There is only perception. You remember that, guys. There's only perception. Bro, trust. It's worth the money. The gold standard polish is legit too. Well, that's cool. I'm glad DIY clearly is doing something right. And Sean, have you looked to see if you can find a store of theirs on Amazon?
No, there's nothing on Amazon.
Amazon's not for everyone, by the way. Sean, Tom and I had a store on Amazon. I mean, he still does. And boy, they really, you got to jump through a lot of hoops, and they take a big piece of the pie by the time you pay them and you pay your shipping. If you used Amazon's shipping, it takes a big chunk of the pie, man. Gold standard waffle weave. Can you enlarge that? I'm curious what it says about what type of foam. No, the description. I'm sorry. I meant the description. I wonder what it says. I want to flip what kind of glorified terminology they use for the description of the foam. Works wonders when it comes to making your cars. I don't know. You could read through it. I'd bet it's Lake Country. Yvonne, DIY detail used to work for Lake Country. I know Yvonne worked for somebody else, although I can't remember. But I definitely will take your word for it, Doug. And yeah, Lake Country's, I think, the other big player. There might be 3 big players. I think there might only be 2, though, from Buff and Shine to Lake Country.
There it is.
Okay, there he goes. The mobile detail shop. That's kind of a contradiction, is it not? The mobile detail shop. So, I mean, I could, once again, as a marketing guy, I could spin that in 2 directions, because mobile suggests that you are mobile, but you're saying that your shop is mobile and therefore you're bringing the shop to the person, versus a distinction between, well, which is it? Are you mobile or are you a shop? See how my mind works? It can't help itself. What do you think, in your opinion, about ceramic coatings compared to old school wax? Which do you believe is better for you to do on cars? Well, in simple terms, because that is a pretty simple question, hands down, I'm going to go with ceramic coatings. But that's just a big can of worms, like it is wax. Well, which wax is made how? Which wax works better? And how do you qualify the qualities? And that's what qualifying means, versus quantifying. So quantifying has to do with numbers. Qualifying has to do with the qualities of something. So what qualities of a wax compared to a ceramic coating are you going to compare the two to come up with an answer as to which one is better? But without overthinking it, absolutely ceramic coatings, for a lot of different reasons. But that's where then it would instantly go into, well, which kind of ceramic coating are you talking about? Next. Congrats, Richard. Godspeed. Yes. Happy man there, Richard.
He's 6'4".
Oh,
He's like
okay.
me.
Yeah.
Same height as me.
That is vertically gifted in my world. So it is racist. No, it he persists. Ceramic XX will smoke DIY polish. Oh, okay. We got a debate going on. Yes,
Well,
I am a fan of, yeah, just to resonate with Doug of Detail It. I am a huge fan of Ceramic XX, and as well as the original ceramics. But
yeah.
once again, I mean, part of why I like ceramics so much is that you can do everything with one product. It's water-based technology. It doesn't stink. It cleans up super easily, and it just performs like just ceramics alone. The one polish will handle any job, and it's going to perform to 98% of any person's trained eye, whether they're a professional body shop guy or a detailer. Like you could take the shine and the perfection to a level that very few people would be able to tell the difference between products. And so those are a few reasons why I was such a huge fan of CSI, which is why I put money where my mouth is and bought into the company there for a while. Bingo, Bingo. Isn't ambiguity life's blood when selling products? Pretty much. Yeah, keep it general, keep it ambiguous. Just use a lot of jargon that stirs the emotions. Get the emotions all riled up, and then the brain cells start like fading, and all the critical thinking just goes out the window. And now we're just going to make decisions based on emotion. What up, gang? Juice Free, welcome back. Glad to have you back, man. What up, Detail It? What up, Doug? What up, Juice Free? In 2 days, world, the racist comment is because I'm man size over 6 feet. Yep, you're screwed, my man.
Here's a new person we haven't seen before.
Details official. What's up, guys? Well, what is up with you, Details? I like that little logo, by the way. Your details in that rectangle. The font weight is the same weight as its border. Looks pretty cool. CSI can't be beat. Yes, I still remain a huge fan and advocate. Apparently, Juice Free knows details. Details official. Detail so official. Here's DIY detail. Yvonne LaCroix is a front man. He used to work for Optimum Polymer Technologies and Lake Country. He only owns a small portion. The money behind it has like 4 other detail brands. Okay, interesting. You know, I would love to hear a deep dive on that. Of course, I could go to the source, right, Doug? I could just go straight to Yvonne, but I don't know if you tuned in yet, Detail It, but maybe you can confirm this, Doug, of Detail It. I already forgot his name. What did I say? That McGurk. What did I say his first name was? Nick McGurk. Hey, Doug, do you know if Nick McGurk is a vested partner? As in, does he have skin in the game in the form of money? Is he one of the 4 people that you know of? And I'm curious how they all united. Let's see. Bet it's just another one step that lasts a couple weeks. Yeah, I'm not sure which product you're referring to, though. Mr. Seam, check fact, or I'm sorry.
Hashtag fact.
Yeah. Just prep the panel and use a professional coating. Yep. But how do we define a professional coating? Everyone kind of says, you know, professional grade, do they not? I don't know. It's pure polish. You don't know what you're speaking of.
Oh, he's got a small YouTube channel. Let's check it out.
We got a little channel, Details Official. Does that mean a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it right now. Detail. How to say?
Details Official.
Oh, it's official. Okay.
Juice Free. I'm preemptively going ahead and reading the comment, Sean. So, are you not able to find it, Sean?
If it's really small, it's really hard to find. Depends how small it is.
Maybe maybe he could tell us what the actual. I mean, it could just be called Detail Official, but maybe it's a little different spelling that you would have to type in specifically. OP owns DIY. Optimum. Who's OP? Sorry, Richard. These acronyms tend to just blur into my mind.
It's okay. It's okay. He must be really small.
Unless, yeah, maybe he's got a funky spelling to it. You know, some of these channels.
If the channel is really, really small, they're really hard to find. I know because it used to be tiny.
All right.
And it was really hard to find.
Okay. Wait, what does 80K mean?
That's 80K. 80K, that's the guys on here.
Oh, okay. Ceramic XX is not a one-step. It's a true polish, the original single product polish. Yeah, I noticed that also, Doug, because his comment about it's probably not going to last, or it's just another one step that's not going to last but a few weeks. Yeah, just to clarify, 80K, Ceramic XX is a polish. It has no waxes or silicones in it. It is meant as a paint correction product. So once you use the polish, then it's up to you as to what you're going to put on after it, whether it's a wax, a sealant, a ceramic coating. So it's just a polish. Now they call it the single product polish because you don't have to graduate through different types of polish grades or compounds. It can cut like a compound, but finish down like a polish. It has what is called.
It's right there, Darren.
What's that?
I got the description of what it is.
Yeah, and you know who wrote that description?
Was your wife?
Let me just.
I'm joking.
No, okay, but click off that subscribe. You see that? Let me see this. Let me read this. Sanding marks and finishes swirl-free without the need for multiple compounds, polishes, mill gauge tested. Yes, this is my writing. So, for example, and I'm the one that coined that phrase, the controlled abrasive technology. Tom didn't really know what to call it, but when I found out the science behind it and the mechanics behind it, and I say mechanics because it really is about mechanical polishing, which is abrasive technology. And what the industry wants you to sign on to is what's called diminishing abrasive technology, which kind of makes sense until you apply some critical thinking of it. And then you realize that it doesn't make so much sense after all, which is another reason how CSI was unique, is because it has controlled abrasives. So abrasives, and what a lot of guys would understand is a difference between traditional sandpapers, or let's say drill bits, or any type of other abrasive type of tool or paper, is that those traditional sanding grits wear down. And so what they would use is literally diamond tipped like drill bits and diamond sandpaper. Now, yes, will diamonds eventually wear down? Yes, they will. But compared to traditional form of abrasive particles, that's what would be considered more non-diminishing.
All right, let's go to the next one.
I have a story in my head about Yvonne. Are you sure the story is only in your head, juice-free? That after he left Optimum, he tried to spread the truth of efficiency through Detail Academy, but after that didn't go nowhere. He turned to the dark side of sales. You know, I can't comment on that because people could say I turned to the dark side or that I sold out, but that's where I would say I'm different. Now, I'm sure there's other guys in the same or similar situation, which is the only reason I was willing to sign on to CSI is because, first off, I used the products for many, many years and loved them. They truly were unique compared to what the industry was teaching us, and unique in ways that were so overdue. Meaning, why was the rest of the industry not producing a single product polish? I mean, I know the answer to that is because they want you guys to buy multiple polishes and think that you have to go through multiple stages when in fact you can just do it with one product.
Yeah,
So
more money, make more money.
if I did not believe in the product, A, I would not endorse it, and B, I would not have put my money into it, because I did. I put what's called skin in the game in the form of money, and I bought into the company because it's like, well, if I'm going to promote it, why not? Anyhow, so at a level you could say that I went to the dark side, but that would be my argument against, and I can only speak for myself. So started DIY. Yes, I've seen a few of Yvonne's videos. Details from NorCal, I believe, big PNS guys. I'm not sure what that meant. Details official from NorCal, maybe. Been watching and learning from Darren for some years. Well, cool. I mean, the fact that you said learning, that's a good indicator. I hope you have learned something from my channels. I certainly put a lot of effort into them. DIY Details Pan and Detail Company is manufactured in Woodbridge, Illinois. ESP is the company. They also make Tech Choice. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is his channel right here.
Oh, did you find it?
No, but I'll look for what you talk to them.
Details official. But did you not already punch that in?
Yeah.
Did you punch it in with no space?
Yep.
Okay. How about if you put a space in, or maybe a lower or a underscore versus a hyphen? Details official. Yeah. Juice free. I believe that. Doug says that to Juice Free.
Oh, he's got 11,000 subs. He's got way more than me.
Yeah, that's not so. So what? How does he spell it? Why couldn't you find it before?
I don't know.
So where is it? I'm
Maybe
looking at your screen, but I don't see
detail. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Maybe it's the way he spells it.
So did you not find it?
No.
Oh.
No. I'm going to try one more thing, and after this, I don't want to spend the whole live stream looking for a channel.
Yeah. Oh, look at. Oh, no. My bad. Oh, well. Sorry, Details. Something's up.
Yeah, I don't know why he's not letting me find it.
He's probably on his end thinking like, dude, are you kidding me? How hard could it be to find a damn channel? Apparently on Sean's computer, it's kind of hard.
All right. Well, it's okay. We'll move on. I'll look for it later. I'll make it my homework assignment.
Detail it. I want to make a movie. Yeah, you two can collaborate and make a movie. Owner's Pride. Yep, there's a thing called Owner's Pride. Is that where you live, 80K? I've always had such difficulty saying that word. And there's different areas of the U.S. that have that. And that's also a chair, Adirondack. Adirondack, I think is how you pronounce that. I was just busting your balls, man. Yeah. Guys love to bust each other's balls. Juice free, you should. Okay, the detailing business of Lake George. I have no idea where Lake George is. There would be a scene where Yvonne gets all emotional and crazy and says the line, "You want a fucking suds? I'll give you fucking suds." Seriously, I called that years on your written description. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember that now, Richard. I wrote like it was so, oh my gosh. I remember rolling into it and just thinking to myself, oh my gosh, there's so much work that needs to be done. The picture suck, the wording, the description sucks. It was just all so bad. And it took so much time. Oh my gosh, it took so much time. Sean Connery would play Yvonne.
Yeah, that Connery.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't see a connection between Sean Connery and Yvonne. Sean Connery, that guy's got game, man, or he did.
Yeah.
I think he was the original James Bond, if my memory is correct. I do lots of multi-stage wet sands on yachts, boats, and detail cars all year long, like a cakewalk. Well, that'd be a cakewalk that's unbeknownst to me because, especially when it comes to boats, working on gel coat, that is hard AF and uppercase AF, man. Like gel coat is its own unique animal. I'm the only detailing business here with a 5.9 Jeep and a solar panel on top going into a solar generator, which charges my cordless batteries and fridge. That's funny. So, dude, what state are you in? ADK. Like, how about if you get specific? Like, where are you? What state? And maybe you don't want to tell us your city, but how about the state and maybe a major geographic hallmark that we might recognize?
I found it.
Okay. Well, then there's this channel, by the way.
Also, detail. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel. I'm not detail it, but
So look at the description. They don't really do that anymore on YouTube, do they?
yeah, I
Where
do.
you can,
Right here.
okay. Where's he located?
It doesn't just
If
says
you
United
went
States.
to his Instagram channel, I bet it would say.
I don't have Instagram on my computer.
All right. All right. Well, maybe if he wants to let us know. Based on you have a solar panel, you got to be and you've got a lake. I suspect there's going to be ample amount of sunshine, at least wherever you're at. What do you guys think about the influencer starting a line every other week? I don't know. I guess my default saying, which is just an observation, is that like everybody wants to either talk about detailing, shoot videos about detailing, make their own product line about detailing or for detailing, but nobody wants to detail anymore. You know why? Because it's hard AF. So what do I think of it? It's like anyone that is into detailing and they love it, but then they realize that they can't endure the work. It's like, well, how can I be part of detailing without actually having to detail a car? I know, I'll come up with my own product line, which is kind of comical. So it's kind of like in my area particularly because I live in a pretty densely populated area of the world. And you go to these places, these cities, you're driving and you'll see a yogurt stand, and it's not really a stand, it's a yogurt shop. Let's call it a yogurt shop or a donut shop. I would say yogurt shops are more notoriously or more notorious for going out of business. And it's funny, you'll see like three yogurt shops in a row enter the same storefront, and you think, okay, people, did you not know that the shop before you was also a yogurt shop? So what is it about your yogurt that's going to be so fabulous that now the world will flock to your shop and you'll be able to stay in business? Oh, wait, nothing, which is why you go out of business. And then the third yogurt shop comes in and thinks that they're somehow going to make it. So in many ways, I kind of look at these detail products similar, which is, okay, we have like 100,000 choices in polishes and compounds and waxes and sealants and ceramic coatings now. So what's going to make yours better than the 100,000 other choices we already have? It doesn't mean it's not possible. It's like, it'd be a tough industry. So I don't know. Do I have opinions of it? Yeah, I just expressed a lot of them. Do I have a problem with guys doing it? I don't know. It depends on how ethically they're going to go about it. Are they literally doing it just to have bragging rights and they got to prop up their ego and they're trying to make money? Or are they doing it because they've done the testing, they know that their product truly is unique? Like literally, how is it unique? Which is yet again one of the reasons I got behind CSI. It truly was unique. It was the original single product polish and it truly worked. That's how it was unique. That's why I got behind it. But here we are, I don't know, four and a half. Actually, it's been close to 5.5 years, I think, that when I first teamed up with Tom, and I'm no longer with it. It's not because the product line didn't work, though. What do you guys think about the info? Oh, so we already read that.
Wait. Before we get ahead of ourselves, I just want to say, if you guys are liking the live stream, make sure you guys like. If you're not subscribed to either one of our channels, make sure you subscribe. I'm guessing you are. The other thing I was going to say was Details Official. Your channel looks pretty cool. I was going to say, if you ever want to join the live stream, just let me know. Send me an email on here at Blue Tech. I even forgot my own email. Anyways, I'm sorry, bluetechstudios.com. So if you .com, sorry, bluetechstudios@gmail. Sorry, if you send us an email here, then I can send you a link and you can join us whenever you're available. We'll move on to the next one.
He's got a lot of videos, 490. That's a lot of videos, man.
Yeah.
Details Official is dope. Yeah, I'll have to look at it myself. Jimbo Slice, he's back. Do you think hand polishing a windshield before a glass coating is sufficient, or would you use a DA polisher? Thanks. The simple answer is, if you have the time and you've got the money into it, as in you're charging a customer, assuming it's for a customer, I would definitely use a hand polisher. I mean, think about it. Why do you use a machine polisher on paint? Because there's no way your hand's going to replicate what a machine polisher can do, right? So the same would hold true with glass. Now, that's assuming that you're actually using a polish that can truly polish glass, but maybe you mean like just clean the glass. But regardless, I'm going to use a machine polisher because it's just going to outperform anyone's hand, period. Details is the name of the detailing company. I follow their YouTube channel. Cool. What's the best towel to dry cars? Well, it's definitely going to be a microfiber of some kind, and that's debatable. For example, they have these big microfiber cloth towels that are so big, and they're intended to be big so that you can basically soak up the bulk of the water, like 90% of the water before it spots up. The problem is when you try to handle those things, they are now saturated with like 10 pounds of water. You try wringing one of those things out, it's literally like a two-man job. And so that's where it's like, okay, I get the concept, but yeah, one of those things. I mean, it's 24 inches by 36. So 3 feet in width by 2 feet. We'll call it 3 feet tall by 2 feet wide. That is big. I mean, it probably says how much water. What they don't tell you is how much it weighs. They'll just say like, oh, it can soak up like 1 gallon of water or 2 gallons of water. Well, a gallon of water, I think, is about 7 pounds. So that is a lot of weight. So I personally am a fan of using a towel that's smaller, that's thicker. So thicker than, let's say, a Costco or a Kirkland microfiber cloth. I want something a little thicker. And I want to be able to wring it out very easily. And I'm just going to work faster rather than try to manhandle a big oversized towel around. So that's my opinion. And as far as an actual specific brand, I don't think you have to overthink that.
There's too many choices. There's a lot of choices.
Well, my point is like a lot of products, it would be hard to go wrong. You just want to figure out what type of material you want, how thick it is, and how big you want it. Then just go shopping with, based on the price point or maybe the color choice that you want.
Well, and then the other thing too, Darren, I forgot to say is Amazon. So if you don't like it, return it and get something else.
Yeah. And most of the companies have the Prime, whereas you get free returns.
Yeah.
Darren, are you bowling? Maybe Richard. Wouldn't be the first time. Who would you have play Yvonne? I don't know, someone very eccentric. I mean, look at Yvonne's shtick. He's got this handlebar mustache. He wears doesn't he wear suspenders, and he wears a bow tie. I mean, it's going to be someone totally eccentric, some Hollywood person that's totally eccentric. I don't have anyone offhand I can think of. 80K, that's dope. I love those electric mobile setups so much. Respect. Yeah. I actually bought 2 solar panel not generators, but what do they call them? Batteries. I guess they just call them batteries. They're just oversized battery cells. I bought 2 of them to do the same thing. I ended up not using them because that was right about the time where I would transition out of physically detailing.
That's why you haven't played.
Oh, him?
Sam
No,
Elliott. No.
no way. I mean, I get the mustache parallel, but hell no. Sam Elliott with his voice.
Hmm.
I mean, he's almost like the polar opposite of Yvonne. I mean, Sam Elliott's like hardcore Americana.
Hmm.
The rough voice. It's like his voice has been dragged across the plains of Nebraska for like
Yeah.
200 miles.
Yeah, like heavy smoker.
Yeah, I'm a 2-pack a day, man. Yes, Joe Coates is very hard. Upstate New York. Okay, there you go. Upstate New York. Man, that's tough because those winters have got to be brutal. Oh, we are in California. What
We're in
part?
California. Yeah, I was gonna say we're in California.
Because I am in the OC, specifically in North Orange County. I'm about, I don't know, like 7 miles away from Anacrime, Disneyland. Top 10 lakes in the country. Well, that's cool. So I suspect you got a lot of high-end customers there, which is cool. How about Dead of Winter and doing gel coat? Yeah, see, Richard is from New York. He lives on Long Island. And I don't know, Richard, I know you moved, and you probably gave me your new address, but I don't remember if I looked it up. In fact, I didn't. So I don't know if you're still on Long Island, but Richard is also, he lives in New York, and he is a trooper. That guy has old school mentality, which is a good thing, which is old school hardcore work ethic, and lives up to his word, is a man of his word, and he's not going to let weather interfere with his doing things unless it's totally extreme. That's the best answer I've heard to that question. Thank you, Darren. I wish I remember what the question was now, or which one he's referring to.
That's okay. We can move on. We have a lot of people.
All right,
talking.
keep them coming then. Thank you, by the way, details. I'm usually stopped doing them by now and fully switched to cars. Okay, yeah, makes sense because we are getting late in the fall season. The compound stopped working at freezing weather pretty much, and it sucks. Dude, I can't imagine detailing, and Richard and I talk about this frequently. I mean, admittedly, I am spoiled big time in SoCal, and I even complain in the wintertime. And the worst it gets here, I think the coldest morning I ever had to go out on was 39 degrees, and that was cold AF. I mean, oh, by the way, guys, here's a little tip for you. When you're working in the cold, just wear latex gloves. I used to just like muscle through it and be like, gloves are for pussies. I'm not going to do it. They're not worth the hassle or the time and effort. But I'm telling you, just having that little thin membrane barrier between your hand and the water makes the world of difference. You'd be surprised. I dismissed it until one of my worker bees was wearing gloves and I called him a pussy. And he said, dude, you got to try it. I'm telling you. And I totally wanted to dismiss it, but I tried them. It's like, oh my gosh. It's not that my hand stayed warm, by the way, but it was way better. So just a simple nitrile or the latex gloves alone will make a big difference. That analogy is as good as asking a fat chick for dieting advice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do it. What's your take on low pH, high pH, and neutralize it? Is it a waste of time or doesn't protection bond a lot better?
This person is new.
Loyalty. Yeah, I don't recognize that name, Loyalty, nor that logo. And I'm looking at that logo, Detail Services. Is that like a little buffer on the top? I can't really tell. So if you understand chemistry, Loyalty, absolutely positively, it's science. It means something. The problem is the industry floats these labels but doesn't educate the consumer what they mean. So they'll just say a pH balance. It's like, well, balanced according to what? Like balanced according to, oh, your car needs a pH at a level 7.5. Okay, well, basically everything in life 7.5 is about as we'll call it inert or benign as possible. Like seawater, your blood, like humans, that's the perfect balance. So based on that, it's like, but for example, I'm not a car or I'm not clear coat on a car. So when they talk about a pH neutral or a pH balance, like Richard Seam was talking about, I believe it was, where ambiguity reigns supreme. So the industry uses all this jargon and all this terminology that sounds sophisticated, but they don't actually educate the consumer or the detailer what that means. Like, oh, I need a polish that's pH balanced, or I need a car wash soap that's pH balanced. And I'm not discounting the pH scale and the element scale because it is something, but you got to understand chemistry because you got the alkaline and then you got the acid. And so when you understand it, and that's how I've been able to configure a lot of off-label uses is by understanding enough of the pH scale so that I know that if something is and I don't want to go on. My head starts melting, but yes, it's legit. In simple terms, the industry just uses it to sell products and to make their product look special or more sophisticated than their competition. There's a simple answer. We will definitely reach out. Well, cool. Yes, more for decontaminants, water spots, not for actual scratch removal. Yes, indeed. Killer Mobile Detailing tried Nighthawk brands, USA, DT, X6 towel, crazy good for drying. Okay, well, there's a little recommendation there from Doug from Detail It. Thank you, Doug. Why the name change addition to Shine Like a Pro, assuming relocation?
Oh,
Do you want to answer that, Sean?
Yeah. So he's talking about. I think you're asking about
Well,
auto
he's asking
fetish.
about you, I think. I mean, I never changed my name. He's talking about
No,
you.
no, I know, but I think he thinks okay. So auto fetish and Shine Like Pro are
Oh,
we
okay, two different
yeah.
channels.
Yeah, they're two different channels, but my version is we talked about this before. My channel is a Cliff Note version of his channel.
Yeah,
That's
so
all it
to
is.
clarify details, we both have channels. Mine was the original.
Yeah.
But Sean and I, we met years ago. I trained him how to do detailing. He had his own detail business for a while. He stopped that. He moved to Arizona. He wanted to stay part of it. So he just started his own channel, which is Shine Like a Pro AZ. AZ is for Arizona. And he takes my long winded videos and he condenses them into the Cliff Note version. And so my content gets diced up and churned up and reduced, and that's what he does for his channel. So Sean does that channel independent on his own, even though it's my content originally for
Yeah.
my channel.
Right. With obviously with Darren's permission.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what it is. There you go. I answered that question.
Loyalty. I use Ceram X touchless wash. It's a high pH, low pH system. Then you hit it with a foam and rinse. SiO2 sealant. It's fast and works for wash and protect in under 8 minutes. That sounds pretty cool. I like fast. And honestly, with customers, like customers are so ignorant, and of course you can exploit their ignorance in a um, unscrupulous way, but you don't actually have to do it in an unscrupulous way. You can do it with integrity, but not overthink it, because if a customer doesn't understand it and they don't want to learn it so they can understand it, because they can't understand it, they're not going to value it. So if they're not going to value something, why go through steps that they're not going to place value on? They just value the end result. So if you can cut to the chase and get to the end result quicker with less steps and less products and less time, and the customer is going to value it the same, then yes, do that. The OC, you be a snob. Yes, indeed, I am. I am an elitist. Guilty. That fairy liberal Steve Colbert can't. Leave it to Richard. Always stir the pot. And have you ever seen that episode, Richard, where someone confronts Steve Colbert to, dude, it's called Colbert. It's not Colbert. And they made a connection between Bert and Ernie on Sesame Street. And it was on Sesame Street. And it was funny to see him try to spin it. It's like, oh, no, it's Colbert. It's like, dude, it's Colbert. Colbert, as in Bert and Ernie. Anyhow, move on.
Yeah.
Gloves are essential for cold nights in the trenches. That is so true, man. And I'm a puss when it comes to cold. I really am. I could not survive in other regions that were colder than here. That glove trick. Yeah, it's literally like it's a wetsuit, except a little different. It's more like a dry suit.
Yeah.
Unless you plunge your hands all the way in and you allow water to get in there, then it's like a wetsuit. So the concept of a wetsuit is, yes, it serves two purposes. It's a barrier between you and the icy cold water, but it accepts that you're going to get water inside the suit, but then that water is heated up by your body temperature and it mostly remains inside the wetsuit and it contains it. So the wetsuits act in two specific ways. Detail it. I just ordered Crystal Wash by P&S and pre-soak. Chemex sounds so easy. Yeah, see, there you go, Loyalty. Maybe you can learn from Doug at Detail It. Sounds like a great tip, by the way, Doug.
And Loyalty, you should go check out his channel. Doug Detail It has his own YouTube channel, and I'm sure you can find some useful information on his channel.
Yeah. Yeah, ditto that, man. Yeah. What products do you recommend for black cars to take swirl marks out and polish and seal it to make it look brand new again? Well, the simple answer is going to be Ceram X polish, which has now been updated to a improved version called Ceram XX. You want to put on your screen, Sean?
Yeah.
I mean, that was my go-to product forever. But honestly, there's so many products, polishes out there that are just really, really good. And it's really going to come down to three things. Your skill, like how much skills do you have? Because if you've got the skills, you can pretty much produce desired results with most any polish and any pad. It may take longer, it may take more work, but if you got the skills, you can do it. Secondly, how trained is your eye? Do you know how to look at paint and determine through the use of different types of lighting as to whether it's been truly perfected or not? And then thirdly, how trained is your customer's eye? Would they be able to know the difference between paint that's taken to perfection from 80% or above, or would their eye just tap out at 80% perfection because they don't know any better? So that's a big question. Killer Mobile Detailing CSI Ceramics. Yeah, Richard's recommending they have a ceramic line also. Pussy is what he is. Yep, pretty much. Is Doug say penis? I'm not sure.
What's going on? Yeah, they lost me.
Is that a proposition, Richard? Are you propositioning Doug? Hey, Darren, so I want you to have Mr. Horvath on. I would love to see that one. I'm sure Tom would be willing. Why do I not? No special reason other than time and logistics. Like we would have to combine, which we did with you guys. It's not, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a little bad blood, but I don't know. It's a convoluted subject.
I think if I invited him on, he would come on.
That's what I said. I'm sure he would come on, but I was kind of answering like, well, why don't I take the effort to get him on? It's like, well, because it's kind of a sore subject for me personally for a lot of reasons. So there's an element of that. I'm not going to be dishonest about that. But
plus you're doing your own thing.
Which is this.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Tom, he's a well of knowledge and experience, and he and I can talk forever. In fact, we used to get into such long conversations about so many topics. Anyhow, nothing better, especially on hot black paint. That is true, and he is referring to ceramics polishes. Effing dick, Richard. Okay, girls. No propositions here. Are you sure? It might be a subliminal messaging you got going on there, Richard. There isn't. He speaks highly of you when we talk about you. And I speak highly of Tom for a lot of reasons, but is there an element of it being a sore subject? Absolutely. But I still trust Tom. He's still a man of character and integrity. But yeah, things did not work out as I would have liked them to. And I know Tom would say the same thing. It's just that we just have different opinions on that. But I still love and like Tom. You two together would be who's on first. Who's on first? No, who's on second? Well, you just said who's on first. No, who's on second? I don't remember who actually is on first. That skit's so old. Who's the two characters? Are you even familiar with that skit, Sean?
No.
Who's on first?
No.
Oh, Abbott and Costello. The Costello. Abbott and Costello. Wow, that's a flash. That's in the Wayback Machine. Who's Tom? Okay, Tom Horvath. He is the inventor, developer, founder, formulator of CSI, which stands for Clear Coat Solutions, which is right on your screen. Now, Sean is showing you the updated version of so Tom developed the industry's what's called a single product polish. Now, the industry, in simple terms, the industry wants you to think that in order to go from heavy defect removal down to a swirl-free finish, you're going to have to go through different grades of polish and or compounds. So Tom got this idea from the eyeglass industry. He saw, because his ex-wife back in the day used to work for an eyeglass manufacturer, and they used a single polish to remove the grinding marks off of glasses. Now think how clear and perfect eyeglasses have to be. So he thought, if that industry can do it, why can't I formulate a product for the car industry? Because Tom grew up as a body shop guy. He then owned his own body shops. He did high-end, high-level car restoration.
There is on the screen there.
Yeah, that's Tom on the screen, just so you know. And that's at his shop. We'll just call it his shop. So that was his we'll call it his flagship product, was the Ceram X. And the reason it's called Ceram X, even though it's not spelled, it's spelled phonetically versus how it's supposed to be spelled, because he was developing a product that could work on the super hard ceramic clears that the industry started producing. Well, it was decades ago. They started producing ceramic clears that were super hard. And that's where he kind of rebranded that word from and went with a ceramics, but it's spelt with an X. And then his updated version, just he added another X to it. So now it's Ceram XX. Yeah, details. I was thinking that to LOL, WTF is Tom. Yeah, that too. Laugh, laugh. WT, what the F is Tom? Yeah, Tom is the founder of Ceram X and Ceram XX. Yeah, I hope that description I just gave is a pretty good summarization of who Tom is and why he's relevant to this conversation. He invited One Step Products. He didn't actually invite it, but he did invent it. Yeah, in simple terms, he did, because he developed, okay, if you want to go back in the Wayback Machine, he started with a company called System 1. If you look up System 1, Sean, on the internet, not on Amazon.
Yeah, I know.
System 1, and that's where he coined that term from. Look up System 1 polish. Try that.
Oops.
So that was his unique value proposition, is that you only need one polish in order to do heavy paint correction down to a swirl-free finish. But then we just developed it into the single product polish as an acronym and as a way to talk about that logo. Yeah, that right there in the top right corner, that's the original logo, that System 1 in yellow. Yeah, that's it. And that was over 30 years ago. And if you do the timeline on these other manufacturers, you won't see a single one of them, even manufacturers that were way older than System 1, like 3M, none of them were doing a single product polish. Everyone had multiple compounds, multiple polishes. They taught you that complicated is the way to go to drive stick. Elon Musk doesn't have enough money for me to drive stick. I suspect that is a euphemism.
He means that I think he's talking about electric cars.
He is, but I'm also wondering if that's an innuendo, as in, who knows? Okay. Yes, he was the first single product system originally known as System 1. After a divorce, it became CSI. Yes. Yes, divorce. System 1 is a tighter name. Well, it is. It's unfortunately his ex-wife and his ex-business partner stole the name from him and basically stole everything else from him. So he was out of options. He had to come up with a new name. That is a whole can of worms, by the way. Juice free. Tom is a great guy. Yes, Tom is, in fact, a great guy. And I do not say that with sarcasm. I say that with sincerity.
Yeah, I like Tom. He's a cool guy.
He is. I love Tom. I wish things would have worked out differently.
Yep. I have oh wait.
He brought System 1 back. It's an all-in-one product. The protection isn't super durable, though. Are you referring to, well, I don't even know what to, like, System 1 back? Like, I know he's brought, or he's developed his, Auto Slick line? Yeah, I don't know.
We got more questions coming right now.
All right. That's what DIY Details did with their polish, but they made it sprayable. They only have one polish, but it is a pad dependent. I mean, I'm sure that's what they want you to think. I guarantee you can use anything. You can combine anything together. It probably won't produce the same results, but... And I'm a fan of having a system. So if a manufacturer develops a polish and they engineer it to be used with a specific type of pad, I accept that, and it makes perfect sense. So I'm a fan of systems, but it doesn't mean you can't go off label or off the path and, use it with other things. He should have did System 2. Yeah, well, get Tom on the phone and you tell him that. Detail It, Star and Stripes by Chemex. Good looking. I see you're a big fan of it. I'll study it and give you a follow. Right on. Nailed that answer, not Sean's. See? It was a euphemism, and there was innuendo in there.
Well, you know Richard. I don't know him. I only know Richard from his comments. That's it. I've never talking to the guy, so spoken to the guy.
Oh, there's a new Leardy 58. I don't know. Does that kind of sound familiar? I don't remember. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah. We forgot about Thanksgiving. Thanks, Leardy.
Yeah.
Wasn't he here before? And I think he's the one that said that there's no rhyme or reason behind his name. It was just something that was available, or he just pulled out of his backside, I think.
It's possible. I don't remember. Yeah. We've spoken to a lot of people, so.
Yeah, it's no excuse, Sean. You should be taking notes.
Damn you. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on. That thumbnail on the screen is my video of System 1. Oh.
Well, there you
go. Hang on. Don't click away in case you're going to. Oh, yeah. Detail It. Let's see. Uploaded November 4th, 23. So about a year ago, System 1. I remember when Tom was dabbling with this, and this is when I was out of the company, and I thought, wow, is Tom really bringing this back? And how is that happening? Because his ex-wife and ex-business partner stole the name from him, the copyright and everything. But who knows? Obviously, it didn't last, so who knows?
This is a good question, Darren.
So do you guys have affiliation with CSI currently or any brand currently involved with? No, I have no affiliation with CSI any longer, nor any other company. So there. Hey
Brian.
guys, what's up, Brian? What's up, Brian? Welcome back. Loyalty, thank you from Detail It. Yes. Detail official is system 2 now. It's system 2 now. Now, yeah, we're just, yes, sir. Oh, I sound like I got it correct, I guess.
Yeah, it means nothing.
Yeah, I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I know I did. I ate like a pig. I pre-gamed it by fasting and probably losing a couple pounds, and with the expectation that I'd be putting on some extra poundage, but I'm back down to my normal weight, so I'm good. And I'm really looking forward to tonight's meal. It's gonna be super good. And speaking of which, it's 7:16.
I know. Past your dinner time.
So I don't know if you're new here, you may not know, but I do intermittent fasting and I eat one meal a day. It's called the OMAD diet, one meal a day, hence the acronym OMAD, OMAD. And I generally eat between 7 and 8 p.m. every evening. So all you party people, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. And thanks for the good questions. And if you haven't given the video a like, we would appreciate that. And if you want to subscribe to our channels, go for it. If you don't, I get it. I'm not going to pander to my audience all in the name of that silly algorithm, which we're all a slave to. Any last parting words, Sean?
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to subscribe, but a like would definitely be helpful.
Yeah.
So subscribing is not required. That's it. I think that's good, and hopefully you guys, if you're new, this is your first time watching the live stream. Hopefully you get to join us on next Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes, same bat channel, same bat time. Saturday nights, 6 o'clock PST. All right. Peace out to all of you. Thanks for tuning in.